Hi guys, it's Jessica Kirson. Welcome to Relatively Sane. It is so awesome to be doing this. I love doing the podcast and I love that you guys are listening. Please tell your friends about it. Pass it on. That's the way it'll get more listeners, more views on YouTube. As you know, I have a Patreon. Some of you don't know what that is. I would never know what that is if people didn't explain it to me. But basically, it's a way for you to help me keep my business going because I employ people for this podcast to do editing and videography and all different kinds of things. And so you can pledge $5 a month, $8 a month, whatever you can. Some people are giving me $200. There's some people giving me $2,000. That's fine. You can give me $2,000 a month. So it all goes back into the podcast. My Patreon is patreon.com/Jessica Kirson, and you'll get early podcasts, like meaning you'll get it before anyone else does. You will get specific videos just for you. I'm doing Q&As just for the Patreon members, and it's like a little club and you get things that no one else sees. So definitely, if you can, go on Patreon to support me. Also follow me on social media, you know, Relatively Sane Pod and Jessica Kirson, Jessie Kirson on Instagram. I am really happy to be doing this, and it helps me, and I'm so excited for today's guest. Please welcome Carmen Lynch. I'm here with my buddy who I love. I like people, but I don't really like a lot of people, and I really like Carmen.
I love you. I'll go further.
I love you too. I do. I really love you. I would be there for you if you needed me.
During the coronavirus?
I don't know about that. Honestly, Carmen, well, this is Carmen Lynch. I didn't even say your last name.
Hi,
I'm
sorry.
so unprofessional.
No, I just jumped in.
She just goes by Carmen, like Madonna. Please welcome Carmen.
Hola, señores. Soy Carmen.
Oh, God. Yeah, Carmen does comedy in Spanish also.
I hope if I can still go, you know.
What, do you have to go to Spain to do it?
I'm going to Spain in May. Mostly, there's some here, but not that many.
What?
Shows in Spanish.
Oh, I thought you meant Spanish-speaking people. I'm like, there's a ton.
There's a ton, but I can't find them.
Really?
They don't come out unless, I don't know, we're trying to get them out.
Well, they might be afraid of ICE.
That's true.
Wait, that's the Mexicans. Is it all the same?
I got confused for a second with the corona. I thought you were going to say corona, and then you said ICE, and I'm like, they have a lot to worry about.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
the coronavirus. There's the ICE. Not ICE. It's ICE, like the government.
Right. Not cold drinks.
No, right.
or
not
the winter.
Cold drink.
You know, the winter. The ground. Don't slip. There's ice.
We're so stupid.
I know. I love it. I feel
love you.
myself. That's why I love you, is because there's nothing. I could have walked in a plastic bag and 3 wigs, and you would have been like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh, nothing phases me at this point.
I know.
Everyone's losing their minds, so it's not. If I saw a llama walking around the city with gloves on
and a mask,
yeah, that's. I wouldn't even question it. I would just be like, oh, there's someone going to work. I don't know why. Things don't really faze me anymore.
They don't. In fact, it's the time to go further now because we don't know how much longer we'll be here.
If you could do anything, if you could walk around however you want without worrying about any judgment at all, what would you wear?
And
seriously,
not worry about the
nothing.
coronavirus or
nothing.
anything.
No one's going to judge you. You're not going to get sick. You literally can walk around in anything you want.
Bathrobes are comfortable, but also just being making weird sounds to people and
well, yeah, that's our favorite thing.
Wearing wigs. I guess wigs.
You love wigs. Yeah, just be like, oh, Carmela, just saying weird.
Right in their face.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you just sounded like an anxious Asian woman. And that means someone go get the noodle. We're running out.
Baby sounds make me laugh too when babies coo and they go, well, you've got 4.
Yeah.
Is that a baby? No.
I can do one really well.
Okay.
What kind of mood do you want?
Comfortable in their little hammock or sack.
Hammock?
What are those baby
You think I have
seats?
hammocks in my house?
A baby seat and a 6-month-old.
I have yurts. for all my kids. Do
What
you know
are
what
yurts?
That's those things you live in, like those earthy, crunchy people. It's
like those little bubbles, like those.
Yeah, it's like a fucking
cocoon.
Oh yeah.
I saw those when I came over. You had 2 cocoons for the twins.
I don't have a cocoon.
They had these like little egg-shaped, like Lady Gaga egg-shaped.
You're making this sound really weird, like they're wrapped in meat. Yeah. No, they're not. This is a little baby, like. That's
really good.
Or wait, I have to commit. That's a cry.
That's good.
I've done a baby laugh in front of you and you've laughed.
Do it.
Well, when like someone's not funny on stage and I'm with comic friends
God.
and I'm like
That's insane. Do you ever smell your baby's heads?
Oh, I smelled one of my kids' asses last night and said, "You got to go in the bath. This is evil."
But I meant it in a good way, like smelling an ass.
I smell. Yeah, that's in a good way. That's how we greet each other in my house. No, I smell their heads constantly. I mean, there's a lot of dents I noticed
on their head. Still.
I did last night. I was kissing Charlotte's head, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" It was a lot of dents.
Do they have helmets?
No, Carmen.
Maybe do they need helmets?
Carmen, you've met my kids. Do they look like they need helmets?
They're so cute.
They may at some point, and I'll still accept them.
How's that? If you could wear, you know what would be fun is to just be nude. But that's
I don't even walk around my house nude.
Oh,
Isn't
really?
that horrible?
Oh,
is that sad?
To. Yeah.
It is?
Oh, sad? No. No.
I feel like it's a little sad because I'm so private and like I just would not want to pass anything where I can see myself
pass
naked.
Gas or pass a mirror?
No, I'll pass gas anywhere. Oh. I blew one of my kids across the room last night.
Mommy, there's a hurricane.
Yeah, she was like, "Mama, play fort with me," and I was like, "No." And she just flew across the room and knew not to talk to me anymore.
Mommy, I'm sorry.
Mommy, please don't do that again.
Mommy, stop with the burritos, please.
Mommy, don't fart in my face.
Mommy, do you love me?
In 20 years, she'll be in therapy. So my mom used to fart in my face, and I would really literally fly across the room, and I just feel unsafe still.
Well, that's where the dents are coming from. All the freaking accidents from your gas. Jesus.
I'm blowing dents into my baby's head.
They definitely.
Do you ever
helmets.
fart in front of John? I love Carmen's boyfriend, John.
He's great. Everybody loves him.
Well, of course, he's a great guy.
It's funny. Yeah. He's great. He's great. But I fart when he farts. Like he farts in the morning when he's still asleep. So that's when I slide it in.
Because he's not up?
Yeah, he's not. And he'll think it's him. He'll be like, and I think sometimes he thinks I'm asleep and he'll be like, and then I'll just be like I'll try and join the farts together.
Could you imagine if you were so in tune that you did it at the same time? Like you just knew when he was about to do it.
That's
you were
romantic.
I don't think you're connected enough.
Well, we're connected. Yesterday we called each other at the exact same time.
Oh,
so maybe
that's interesting.
Farting is next.
Right.
Yeah.
Know? I mean, you don't poop and leave
Never.
How do people poop and leave the door open and have a conversation?
He was married before me, and when we first started dating, he goes, "We can't do that because I did that with my first wife, and it made us into instant roommates." Instead of
yeah, you mean if you're gonna poop and then leave the door open?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't understand. I have to focus.
Did that.
Also,
that's true.
Yeah.
I have to focus even for peeing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't. I think some things you should keep, but the farting is a little. You get lazy after a while.
You do, but there are ways to get around it, like to cough and then fart, like cough during your fart.
Right, and then just quickly move away from where you're standing.
Or because I don't know about you, but I get gas. I eat a lot, so I get a lot of gas.
Yeah, I get a lot of gas too because I'm angry. So and sometimes they're very aggressive.
The worst is having gas on a plane. Like, I can't eat a lot on a plane. And one time I was trying to, because I thought the guy next to me was reading and he wasn't looking at me. So there is a way. Don't you think there's a way to like silently fart?
Carmen, I do it every
Like,
week.
there's a way to maneuver your ass. And I was just maneuvering my body.
Right. And then it goes into the cushion. Yeah,
Yes.
you can tell when someone's setting up to do
Yes.
it.
And he goes, "Do you need to use the bathroom?"
What? Are you kidding me?
And I hadn't
Did
even
someone
farted. I was just preparing for the fart. And he knew. I was fidgeting. So
Okay,
he knew.
first of all, I'm sorry if he knew, but that's a very inappropriate question to ask someone. It's boundaryless.
You know what's worse? I actually thought it was kind of funny. It's worse. What's worse is one guy lifted up the armrest.
Yeah.
So we would like kind of be together as one big seat. Can you believe that? I thought that was so me too. And I was like, I just pushed it right back down. How dare you move that armrest?
And it was so weird because his hand was down my pants and I was like, what's going on here?
I mean, I thought that was just so weird.
And then you put this thing back
right
down.
back down.
Have you ever
been?
has a man ever like smacked your ass or done something very inappropriate?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too. Like I don't mind when it's a guy I'm dating. I think that's kind of hot.
Right. Just like smack you across the face.
Oh,
I'm joking.
My ass is fine.
I get it.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I'll do things to that person and
To that person.
whoever
Like what?
it is.
Like,
Like smack them back or
Carmen, the thought of you doing that, I'm sorry, just because I love, like, I laugh so much with you, and
Yeah.
I could laugh just talking to you right now.
Yeah.
Do you smack someone's ass while you're in bed?
Oh, I just meant like in the kitchen.
Oh, I just meant at a funeral. I'll just smack his ass.
I'll smack his ass. I'll hold his ass in public. I don't care.
Yeah, that
you
I
know?
get. Who
Yeah.
cares if you're with
Yeah,
someone?
Yeah.
But sexually, you wouldn't do that.
Sexually, I've smacked ass. During sex? Yeah.
Sexually, I've smacked ass. Oh my God.
I remember the first time a guy smacked my ass during sex.
Yeah.
I started crying. Because I thought it was abuse. I'm like, you're hurting me.
I totally understand. I remember the first time I was put in a headlock and the guy slammed my head into a wall and I was like, that's a little too much.
What about a big chain around your neck? And I mean,
well, my ex-girlfriend, I used to have to put a chain around her and then around my neck and drag her around like those.
and just walk down the street like that?
You know those athletes that pull like cars and stuff? She was into She was into that. So I just would drag her around.
Do you
Thank
ever
God
cut
she
people
suffered
on purpose.
You mean sexually just cut them?
Cut their ass sexually.
While you're having sex, you just take like a razor and cut their ass.
Just make new holes. Is this rated PG? Oh no, good.
You are so fucking funny from what you just.
Do you ever put things in holes?
Oh my God, my stomach hurts because I've eaten so much. Wait, Carmen, cut new holes. This is so crazy.
Be like, I'm sick of your current holes.
I'm sick of your current holes.
Do you have any new holes, like virgin holes? Can I make one?
Do you mind if I make a new hole in your ass?
Are you a virgin? Now you are.
Do you mind if I cut a new hole next to your old hole?
I promise they'll be the same size. Let me get a ruler. Hold on.
I can't stop laughing. If you knew Carmen, it would be even funnier. Meaning, you guys know her. But if you knew her, like, just as a person, I just think it's so crazy to cut another hole. I don't know if I would cut the hole. I might, like, take a hammer and make a hole with another device.
Like a screwdriver? What do you mean? Like with what? I'm so curious.
Well, I don't know what it would. Like a cookie cutter. But it would be the size.
That's a big ass hole, though.
I don't mean like a big heart cookie cutter hole.
Like I mean Santa Claus cookie. Can I put a Santa Claus hole in your ass? It's Christmas. Oh, you're Jewish? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me get a Moses.
Can I put them next to each other talking?
Can I put them next to each other getting along? If you could put any shape. I have tears running down my face right now. They're never this funny.
I'm sweating.
There's some.
That's how I express myself.
With sweat?
Yes.
If you could put any shape hole
where
in John's ass next to his current asshole.
Let me think. Any shape.
I love that you just go along with it.
Of course.
Well, no, there's so many people who'd be like, what? I can't say what hole. But you're like, let me think.
Maybe like a cartoon character because he writes for animated shows. Do you know Nancy from the Nancy comic books? I think I'd put her.
What if it had to be like? What if it had to be like a flower? What kind of flower would it be?
Oh my God, this is great. Like a daffodil, maybe. Not a rose. I don't think that hole would look that good. It would have to be a bird's eye view with maybe a little bee, like a bee hole.
Oh my God!
What would you put next to
Danielle's asshole
or your own? Yeah, as a surprise.
Well, next to my asshole, I would put a swastika.
Wow, and then just fuck the shit out of that.
I would stab. We're out of our minds. I would put Peppa Pig hole. I'm trying to think if I could have any shape hole in my ass. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. I don't know. I mean, it would have to be something well, you'd have to poop out of it. So if it's too, you
would sew up your old hole so you could poop.
This is fascinating information.
You could sew up, so you could poop out of the new one? Little swastika shaped poops? Oh my God, where is this going? Why do you do this to me?
Carmen, you're so great. You are. So getting back to the
How do we go back now?
Getting back to the Spic show.
Speaking of swastikas, how's your Spanish?
So I'm surprised that a lot of people don't produce, seriously, Spanish-speaking shows here.
There's a few.
Didn't you just do a festival, or am I losing my mind? Was it
yes,
all?
Yes, but that was for Latinos, and that was in English in Texas.
It was?
It was the Ha Festival.
Oh, I didn't know it was in English.
And it was in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Ha Festival?
Mm-hmm.
The name is amazing. Whoever spent their time coming up with that one.
At least, it's H-A, not J-A in Spanish. But
right.
It was H-A. Yeah.
Just the Ha Festival.
Ha Festival. And some people spoke Spanish there, but the actual festival was in English.
I thought you did it in Spanish.
I threw some Spanish in there. I want people to know I speak Spanish. I was the only comic who wasn't actually Latina, because it is the Latin X festival. But
right.
I'm from Spain. But I guess that
it's fascinating though. So have you gone to Spain and done shows? Mm-hmm. And how is that? What's the? I always am so fascinated by this with you because it's great if you can do both crowds. It's amazing.
I'm still thinking about the butthole.
Me too. What kind of Mexican dish? Would it be a burrito? I don't know.
That would come out of the butthole?
If you could put anything in your hole, in your asshole,
anything,
yes.
I think something cold and slimy would feel good. I've never thought about this, but I feel
You've never thought about this, when you're with
not
family,
this much with you. Oh. I feel very comfortable talking about my asshole with you.
Well, a lot of people say that to me. They say the one thing I can relate to you with as a comedian or as a friend or anything is talking about assholes, because I'm very open, very open.
How do you think doctors decide to be like, you know what? I'm going to pursue butthole medicine. Like, I'm going to be a
butthole medicine.
What is it called? Gastroenterology. Right?
Gastroenterology.
Isn't it a gastroenterologist who looks at your butthole?
A gastroenterologist. I don't know. A buttologist?
I think it's a gastroenterologist.
Castro?
Castro.
What is it?
Because it's gastric. Like, I've had colon, what are they called? Colonoscopies?
You have?
Oh, yeah. I've had like 5 or 6.
Why?
Because when I was, you'll love this story. Because when I was, this was the 2 weeks before 9/11.
Oh,
I'd been bleeding out of my butthole for a while. This is all true.
Everyone's going to love this podcast because we're laughing. It's so crazy. Wait, but why were you bleeding out of your butthole?
It's spewing everywhere.
Yeah, it was just
like
I just thought of a fountain. Like
yes, not
really,
like that.
not like, like a geyser.
Guess where it happened? You'll love
this.
Gotham Comedy. The old Gotham downstairs in the bathroom.
You went to the bathroom and there was
probably
blood
during
coming?
your show. I did your bringer shows all the time. Oh my God, Jessica, your show gave me butthole bleeding.
Wait, your show gave me butthole bleeding. Oh my God.
Oh my God, but that's where it happened.
Wait, did you just go to the bathroom and there was blood in the toilet?
Yes.
Was it in your stool?
It was in my stool, and I thought they were red peppers.
Did you even eat red pepper?
I eat everything.
Oh, I didn't. Like, the worst was if you didn't even eat red peppers that day.
It was like congealed, and I was like,
what?
I was like, you know what? Did I have red peppers today in my salad?
Did I have Swedish fish?
Oh my God.
Did you freak out?
Well, it had happened like maybe 1 or 2 other times. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's not food. Maybe I should get my butt checked. So So I always call my mom because she's a nurse.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Which can backfire because sometimes I've shown her stuff and I'm like, what's this? And she's like, that's a wart. And I was like, never mind. It's a zit. Bye.
That's what my mom does as a therapist.
Yes. It's like you tell them too much.
Or not anything at all and they turn it into something.
So I was like, Mom, my butt, I think my poo has blood in it. And she was the one that told me to make a colon appointment with a gastroenterologist.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found this, like this big old polyp in my butthole.
In your hole?
Yes. And it was, first of all, it's so amazing to be that high. Like it felt so, this is what I did. I got so high off this anesthesia and they had to keep me on it because they had to like make sure the whole colon was.
Wait a second. Back up. Do you always have to? Do you always get to get high when they plow your ass?
Oh yeah, and I'm
going to get it done.
So I love it. I'm like, every time the anesthesia. I just had my like 5th one this like 6 months ago.
Can you imagine you don't even need them? You just go for the anesthesia.
And every time I go, I have a new doctor because my insurance keeps changing.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you get these? And I'm like, for fun. They're so great.
Why do you get these?
Because they don't have the previous records, so I have to find them.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have Obamacare. My doctors keep changing, and she's like, "You're not supposed to get them yet." And I'm like, "Oh, let me tell you how many I've had, lady."
Do you still have polyps in your anus?
I had 6.
What?
Yes. That's what they told me. I know that sounds like a lot.
6 at one time?
Yes, I just had 6 removed.
Just now?
Yeah, just like half an
Carmen.
hour ago. I know. But you know what? I think they're very little when
Just
you go. I cough and they pop out.
No wonder there's blood all over the
One of them was a pepper, though. Just to be clear.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh, so it was 5 polyps and a pepper. That should be
That's a
that
great
should be the
album.
name. The name of your new album.
Oh
5
my God.
5 polyps and a pepper.
5 polyps
It
and a
is.
pepper.
I'm not kidding. It's a great name.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I highly recommend that. Anesthesia is amazing.
Do you stay up while they're taking them out?
No, because I'm out. I'm out.
But
It's
for
what-
a while, you feel the effects of it.
I feel it. I love when they go count to 10 backwards, and I'm like 10, 9, and then I wake up, and I this last one, John was in the room because they let him come in, and I was like,
He watched it?
no. I mean, in the waiting room.
Oh,
the
okay. I
recovery
thought that he
room.
watched the peppers and polyps come
he'd
out.
love that. Mm.
Yeah. Talk about make you closer.
Honey, you're pepper.
Oh, honey, when I saw that pepper in your anus hole.
That third polyp made me so hard.
Oh, God, that ass blood just made me want to explode.
Can we go back to Gotham where it all started? Please. Well, I actually, the first one I had removed.
I haven't laughed this hard in a long time.
The first one I had removed was pretty big because, it was my first one.
When you say big, how big was it?
It was like, what is that? Like the size of a quarter, I guess. I don't know. But it was a mushroom. They say when it's mushroom, it's dangerous. When it starts to shape like a mushroom.
It's the most disgusting. It's shaped like a mushroom?
It starts to shape, and they call it precancerous. And they're not scaring you, but they're letting you know that if that wasn't removed, it could have been cancer. So when they said mushroom, and I was still high, I was like, I'm hungry. No, I said...
I want salad.
No, you know what I said? I said, can I see it? And the doctor, who's so nice, he's not my doctor anymore because my insurance changed, but he goes, sure. And he brings out this little jar, and I got to see the polyp. And no joking, like 5 minutes later, I go, can I see it again? And he goes,
Why'd
no,
you want to
I don't know. I was high. I don't know. I think I was just fascinated by the mushroom.
He said no.
He said no. He was probably. I mean, you know when you're high and you don't realize it. You're as soon as I go, can I see it again? I was like, what the fuck?
You noticed it right after you said it.
I was like, I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth because it starts to wear off, and you're like, wait, I'm still saying weird shit.
Wait, so we're all 5 of them? I mean, not the red pepper, but we're all 5 of the polyps shaped like mushrooms?
No, the mushroom was the very first one. After that, they've all been like probably like little peas. I have no idea.
You have a whole produce section in your asshole. If you have to stay home, God forbid, because of a virus or something, you'll have vegetables.
Who's next? I'm ready. Let me fart. Wouldn't that be
You just
funny?
fart and a baby corn comes out like all these.
What if I got a colonoscopy and they were like, we actually found a lot of green peas in your butthole.
We found a water chestnut. We found a whole bunch of arugula.
Did you lose your keys?
Oh, that's where my grandmother's brooch was.
My ass is like a vacuum. I just sit and it just starts to. Where's my wedding ring?
Where are my taxes?
Is that the microphone? I hear an echo. Help me. Oh, wait, that's a baby. Help me.
Jessica's baby is in my asshole.
Wait, the twins are in there? Get them out. Fart it out.
Oh, I have to fart.
Are your producers used to this kind of thing?
Well, excuse me. Let me tell you something. This is by far one of my top favorite ones because some of them are so serious, and it's okay. People love them.
Really?
But when they're this funny, like this is like the Chris Stefano one where people, I'm not kidding, have listened to it 10 times because it's that funny.
I got to listen to it.
You'll freak out. It's really funny. But a lot of times they're just serious, but I could talk about ass stuff for
I know, me too.
hours. I mean,
but don't you hate it when they do compare it to food? Like, have you ever had a yeast infection and they're like, yep, it's like cottage cheese? And I'm like, you've ruined cheese for me.
well,
You're like, I was just about to go to brunch.
I was thinking, every time I went to Florida, my grandmother gave me cottage cheese in the morning. I'm like, was that her yeast infection or was that French?
If your grandmother's giving you cottage cheese, I'm going to give her some of my water chestnuts in my butthole.
My grandmother would wake me up at like 4 a.m. and be like, what do you want for breakfast? Like I would be a half a cantaloupe or a grapefruit. Like it was always diet food because she wanted me to be thin. Oh God, back to the anus. I can't. When was the last time you had a vegetable removed?
By vegetable, you mean the polyps?
Yes.
Like, I think I had them. Well, the 6 that I had were about maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. But before that, I hadn't had a polyp in years.
Why do you think that you got them again? Why do they think you got it again?
They don't tell you. They're just very like, it's like my dad had them.
Oh, they run in the family?
And, yeah.
His must have been bigger.
You know what's crazy? That first one that looked like a mushroom, they were like, this is pretty big for, because, it was around 9/11. So it was like, I have to tell you the 9/11 story. Okay. So anyway, so I was like in 9/11, whatever. So then, right after
I was
9/11,
in 9/11.
you know what I mean? Like I was in part of the, whatever. I worked down there.
Right.
So anyway, so like 3 days later, I'm in Virginia because my, Goldman Sachs is shut down because I was a temp there and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom goes, did you ever find out the results of that mushroom polyp? I'm like, how can you think about that right now? We're going through 9/11. And that's all. She was way more worried about the mushroom polyp.
Excuse me, my mother would have done the same
Really?
thing. Because she obsesses about medical stuff. I mean, like that's not just my mom. That's a Jewish thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute you hear that, you're dying.
Right.
But it's
and
pre-cancer.
It's a mom thing. Too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That is so. Is that like? Have you been through other medical things that are
like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a bunion. I know, my body's freaking
Where's
hot.
the bunion?
The bunion's on your foot.
Oh, I
It's
didn't know if it was on your.
Can you imagine if I had this excess calcium bone popping out of my pussy?
You have to get a pedicure in your vagina. I don't understand why I have to go in there.
Why you have 6 toes? This guy I dated told me that. He goes, you have 6 toes. I'm like, it's not that bad.
Oh, it's because is it on the side of your
It's
pinky?
on the side of my big toe.
Is it big?
That sounded like a combination of big and pink. Is it pink? It's big in the sense that, like, if I was at the beach, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, when I lay
if someone saw that, they'd be like, where's the lifeguard? That kind of big.
He's behind the bunion.
You can't see it.
Make a left behind the bunion. Oh, sorry, that's a mountain.
Sandcastle. Oh,
Like when
my
I'm
God.
in the sand, like when I have my feet in the sand, I put my right foot in the sand more so you can't see it.
That's what I do with my stomach.
Maybe it's a bunion. Maybe you just have a bunion.
Oh my God. That's what I'm going to tell people from now on. Oh, you may want to lose. No, it's a bunion. I know it sounds confusing.
It's a mushroom bunion.
Do you,
Okay.
when you put your foot under the sand, do you take up like a whole section?
I have to tilt my foot so like at least my toes get some nice
Do
sun.
you touch China?
Oh my God, you know what I do with my bunion? This is kind of why I don't want to get it removed. It's because
I don't want to.
it's a great like a back rub. Like when I rub his back, he's like, "What are you rubbing me with?" And I'm like, "My bunion." Because I think it's just
laughed
bone.
this hard and so long.
Or who really gets the
Wait,
most?
did you really rub him with your bunion? What does he say?
We used to get into fights because he gives really good back rubs, because he's got these big, strong hands.
Yeah.
And then I would do it, and he's like, deeper, deeper. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to secretly hide my hand and use my foot.
Oh, my God. Is it hard? Like rough?
It's like bone. Like,
do you dig things with?
I work in a cemetery. I dig holes for the dead.
Do you use it to roast marshmallows? Oh my God.
But the one that gets the most joy out of my bunion is my other foot, because
The one who gets more. Is your other foot alive? Like,
if I have sore feet, oh my God, I just rub that bunion against the bottom of the other foot.
Carmen, I'm picturing like a magic marker. Like I'm picturing a big bunion.
Okay, you know how people's feet just go straight down on the sides?
Yeah.
Mine just goes.
Oh, but it's not out far, right?
No, but it's
About how many inches?
It's enough where
Could you imagine 7?
Do you notice the boat I have on my right foot?
Your shoes are shaped like boomerang. You have to get custom-made shoes that go out.
I just wear a cast on my right foot. It's getting to the point where the shoe is feeling too tight on one foot.
Oh no,
So-
really?
I mean, it's not, I mean, I'm making it sound like the biggest thing in the world, but it's enough where it's a really good massager, and it's
Is it painful?
on rainy days. Sometimes on rainy days it is. I was supposed to get it removed last week,
Yeah.
and then there was another Dr. Obamacare insurance situation.
I know, I deal with it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I always have to swag. Now I can't go to my primary care doctor. I have to find someone else.
Yes, same.
I know.
But when I get it removed, I'm going to keep it like as a little paperweight.
You'll keep it as a flute.
Just a little memory, since I don't have my mushroom.
I can't
Polyp
believe you have
anymore.
mushrooms in your ass and a boomerang on your. I will never forget that you use that thing to massage John at any time I see
God.
him now.
Yeah.
Does he get mad when you use it?
No, he's just like, what the fuck? Because, my foot's right next to his face. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm
He's like, is that an
"Fine."
artifact from Rome?
That's a really
It's
good
someone's
idea.
tooth.
You know when like comedians become really famous and then they have a museum?
What's a museum?
Like the Lucille Ball Museum.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
like my bunion could be...
You should save your mushrooms from your ass, your bunion, everything, and put that in your museum. Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
All right, hold up. Could you take a little off the P's? You're hitting them too hard. Not action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
Hold on. Now you're whispering Patreon. Is there a reason you're whispering?
Well, you said to take the
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
You ready? Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon member.
Now you got to pause.
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members, is that okay?
It was perfect. Why'd you stop?
Oh, okay. Patreon members.
Cut. Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you
And action.
Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting the podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about...
All right, let's take it back to the beginning. That was perfect. Do it exactly like that.
I just did it well, though,
Except
but why are you
finish it this
starting
time.
over? Thank you so much to all of my patron...
Cut. Why are you screaming?
Because I'm just trying to get through this.
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my...
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast.
Perfect. Keep going.
There's so many P's.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ad-free episodes.
You could cut this out, right?
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about being relatively sane.
Hold up. Did we agree on monthly live streams?
Yes, you told me I should do them because it'll get more members.
I don't know how to do a monthly live stream.
Don't you just talk in your phone?
We'll figure it out. Come on, let's get through this. We have to go. We should speed this up.
All right. Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting this podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams. We don't know what that is, but whatever, where we talk about being relatively sane. If you want to join our fantastic community that is so corny, go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's Patreon.
I think you said patriot.com.
Go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Thanks again.
And cut. That's a wrap.
The likelihood of either one of us having a museum made about us is pretty
slim.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, now that I've thought of this idea, I kind of just want to be famous for that.
You should sell them at your shows, duplicates of your
Oh my God, what could I do? Like a rock. I could find a rock and just be like, this is a duplicate of my bunion. Rub it on your back if you're a true fan.
and it'll have a saying on it, like hola.
Come see me at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington.
You're on the road you're on the road more than me, I think.
No, I think I feel
maybe
like
the
you're
same.
on the road.
But the
yeah.
two of us are not. There are so many incredible female comics. I'm talking about in New York, but not everyone does the road like we do.
I know. I kind
Have
of
you
don't
noticed
mind
that?
it.
Well, I don't either because when I'm home a lot, I'm miserable.
Me too.
Not
it's an escape.
just because right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get really and then I start freaking out about my career.
Yes.
Don't
me too.
you?
It takes one day. Like tonight I'm off and I'm okay.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
But if I was off tomorrow and oh my God, I'd be like, am I doing something wrong?
Yeah, I know. It's really, people don't realize what we do. And when we perform in New York, it's not for a lot of money at all. Like we have to go on the road to make a living.
Yeah.
But Carmen, you do all these funny characters and videos. What do you think is the biggest? I mean, you got to watch her stuff. Like before we end, you'll tell them where they can reach you. But what is your favorite characters to do? Like, what's your favorite stuff? I've laughed so hard.
I mean, honestly, the weirdest ones I'm too afraid to post.
Because people think you're mentally. I know, I have that too.
Do you ever do that when you make a video and then you forget that it's not just you because you're alone? And then you go to like the cellar or somewhere. They're like, I really liked that weird video you made. And I was like, oh my God, people watched that? And it's like, of course. But you forget.
Well, that happens to me a lot where people go, I remember when you said this in a video. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even remember. I don't remember what I said on stage.
Yeah.
Do you? I black out.
Yeah. I mean, you're better about being freer because like I always get in my head sometimes.
Oh, you're so funny, Carmen.
Oh, thanks.
Holy shit. Like we made an album of all women for Mother's Day and I listened to your set on the album and I was dying. Just it's so funny.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
You're my favorite kind of comic. People probably wouldn't know this, but I love deadpan dry. I mean, it's my favorite comedy and very few people do it that well.
It's funny
like you're committed.
I don't even think of myself as deadpan because don't you think
you're not deadpan, but you're dry.
Yeah,
that's deadpan's different.
Yeah.
You're right. Obviously, but the dry, just the saying things that you're like, oh my God, did she just say? It's my favorite. My favorite thing.
It's fun though. I mean, what would we do without stand-up? I feel like I would just be drinking all the time.
Yeah. Well, I would not. I don't even know if I'd be alive. Seriously, I feel like it saved my life in a lot of ways. I mean, were you happy before you did it? Were you like a happy kid?
No, I was. You know what's so weird when I look back? I was so afraid of not. It's so dumb. I'm going to tell you.
It's
anyway.
not dumb, but
I was so afraid of not having plans on weekends. Like
no,
I was
I
one
understand
of those people
that.
who was like, what if I don't have plans on a Friday? Am I a loser? And then I love stand up. I'm like, wait, I have plans every weekend.
I so understand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you felt like,
like
and
that.
also like it's for me, it was a community.
Totally
like I made
community.
great friends.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
laughed constantly. I don't know. I just finally felt like I met my people.
Totally. And I loved it because I was acting at first and I'm like, oh, I have to put makeup on it. And now I'm like, oh, I can go up in a sack of potatoes
Right.
on stage.
In my ass.
In my ass while I pop out water chestnuts or whatever they're called.
I love water chestnuts. Do you?
You just said that with like the most
I
serious
do.
face.
It's one of my favorite, believe it or not. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite foods. Like
I don't
just
even know what they look like. Like
they're
I've seen
like
them.
white, like you cut them and they're in Chinese food a lot.
Well, I had Chinese food last night and I had the white round thing. Maybe that was it.
The white round.
Right? It was flat. It looked like a carrot, but it was white.
Yes.
But then it has those like little pink lines in the middle of it. Like veins.
Veins?
They're not veins, but they look like little veins.
Were they little?
Very little.
Like this big?
yes.
Yeah, that's
But
water
it was
chestnut.
bright white and it had like little pink lines in it.
I don't know if they have little. They might. What did you order?
Ramen, and it had all kinds of stuff in it.
That might have been taro. Is that like a root vegetable?
Tarot cards?
I can't. I think you ate a Rummikub set.
I have no idea what it was. And then John's mother was with us and she goes, what's that? And I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm going to eat it.
Oh my God. I love ramen.
I love ramen too.
Yeah. Do you eat a lot on the road? I mean, you're so thin, but you work out.
I like to work out because it makes me less anxious.
I know. I need
Yeah.
to start doing that. I've been planning it for 45 years. I need to.
It really helps me just stop thinking.
What do you do when you work out?
My favorite thing is swimming, which I can't really do here.
Oh, that's good.
So I'll do like rowing or cardio,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll do weights.
Rowing is very good.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Exhausting for me to watch.
But you know what? When I don't work out, I'm really tired.
That's
isn't that
wow.
weird?
No, it's not. It gives you energy. I know.
So I think I work out so that, because then when I get off the plane, I'm like, there's no way I'd still be doing this all the time if I didn't work out. Like I'm just too tired when I get off the plane. I don't know. It helps
Maybe
me.
I should talk to you about like getting some, what's it called? Support. Not support. I need to be motivated. I got to start working out. I really do.
What about even just a personal trainer? Because I sometimes when I'm sick of what I do,
Yeah.
I'll just go to someone to like mix it up and then I'll just stop.
I would do it, but it has to be the right person because I
Yeah.
can get really annoyed with someone.
I know.
They're like,
had-
come on, you can do it.
It's
I
funny.
can't.
It's such a. I totally know what you mean. I had a guy who was my trainer, and he was great, but he didn't push me hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another guy who pushed me really hard, but he touched me too much.
Oh my God, it sounds like you've been assaulted.
He'd be like, try this with your back. And then I'm like, why is your hand still on my back? I know what my back is.
Yeah, that's not appropriate.
You know?
Yes.
And it's like, it's hard to tell people, like, I hate conflict. Like, I'm so bad at it.
I know.
Because then I feel like it's awkward for the rest of the time. And he was such a good trainer.
Oh, that is awkward.
So I would just be like, he'd be like, do this for your back. And then I'd move. So he wouldn't touch me. And
No,
I'd be
I
like,
understand.
I got this.
I when I had a bad back, I went to a chiropractor, and I thought about it recently. I'm like, I think the assistant there was very inappropriate with me, and I didn't
touch
even.
your ass?
Well,
Your asshole?
there was a point when his head was in my vagina. No, he was, he's like, let me crack your vagina. No, it was an assistant, and he was a weird guy. And he would, like, while I was on a machine for the chiropractic stuff, he would massage my arms and leg. But I felt weird. Like, it was kind of like, why is he here? What is his role? This massage sucks.
Yeah.
And was very weird.
You probably know this because your mom is a therapist, but what is your love language? Like, is it physical touch? Is it words of affirmation? What are the other ones? Is it gift giving or is it?
It is not gift
Me
giving
neither.
at all.
Yeah.
Definitely, I love physical affection.
Me too. But what I read about, because I'm a physical affection person too.
Yeah.
And if it's the wrong person, it literally feels like the opposite, like someone's touching you with fire.
That's that's interesting.
Yeah.
Where'd you read all this?
It's called the 4 love languages or the 5 love languages.
Oh,
like that.
It's probably like 11.
There is 11. The 11th one is your butt, and if you get it rubbed. But seriously, if you get touched by the right person, it's magical. If you're a physical touch person.
I agree with you completely. What about, I mean, who does not like getting compliments and stuff?
Well, it depends. Like, yeah, but it's hard to explain. Like, I dated this one guy, and we were getting into a lot of fights because we weren't getting our needs met.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned out that I was physical touch, and he was giving me words of affirmation. And I was like, yeah, I don't need that right now. I get it. You like me. Can you
That's
just
so
rub my back?
I know. I'm like that too.
Yeah.
I feel like I crave hugs
Me
and
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I really, it's so interesting. Yeah, and not everyone's like that.
No.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So excuse me, you think you've dealt with more anxiety than depression and stuff, right?
I've gone through both.
Really?
But
Yeah.
I've had more panic attacks, so more anxiety. I used to have huge panic
That's
attacks.
horrible, Carmen.
I still to this day keep Klonopin in my purse.
Yeah. A lot of people
just
do
in
that.
case.
Just right.
It feels good to have it there.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's-
I would have sweating problems. Like,
How
really
did you get
bad.
off? How did that end? Like the panic attacks? What did you start just taking care of
Therapy and like Zoloft helps.
Mm-hmm.
But therapy, you know, what's funny is I had a huge fear of commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And I would break up with guys every 3 months, even if I liked them.
Yeah.
I'd be like 3 months was my cutoff. And then my therapist was like, I knew what I was going in for. And I was like, I have a fear of commitment. She goes, will you commit to me? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to fuck you, so it's going to be pretty easy. She goes, all right, commit to me for 6 months. And I was like, and I loved her.
That's so something a therapist should say.
And
Actually,
then-
that's a very
And
smart.
it's been 13 years.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah. It's
That's a smart thing because it's similar. I mean, people don't realize that your relationship with your therapist a lot of times mirrors everything else.
Yeah.
And you can work through stuff with a therapist that you need to work through with someone, with a person. It's very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it was weird because, like, if I would go through a breakup, it felt like she was a part of it, which felt good.
Yeah.
Like she was around.
Yeah, like you had that
You know?
support.
I don't like it when therapists get too chummy. You know
No,
what I
they're
mean?
not supposed to.
Yeah.
People don't realize that at all. Do you know that I don't even know? I know a little about my therapist's life, and I've been
Yeah.
with her for years,
Yeah.
but I don't know everything at all.
Yeah, and I like that.
Me
Same.
too.
And then when she does talk about herself for maybe 15 to 20 seconds, which is nothing,
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed. I'm like, this is my hour. She'll be like, well, one time when and I was like, fucking A, I'm paying you right now.
You're like, I don't care.
I don't.
I know.
I don't care.
It's a fucking fortune too.
It is.
My therapist sent me to a trauma therapist. And it did not work for me. Like because I can see through so much. I've been in therapy since I'm 8 years old. I mean, like sometimes they use these techniques. I'm like, okay, I know what you're doing. I can't help it. But honestly, when I got the bill, I was more traumatized than I've ever been in my life. It was like $400.
Did your mom practice therapy while you were inside of her? Because I wonder if like you heard some of her advice if she was talking to a patient.
That sounded so bad the way.
While you were fucking your mom, did you?
While you were fingering your mom, did she ever work with clients?
Did she have like when you were like almost a baby? So what is that? I don't know.
She was not seeing clients yet. And I don't think that she was even like doing stuff like that. But when we were very young, she got a master's. And then she started seeing clients constantly. And she was like, my mother's amazing. She was like, you're going to love this. She ran a group. She was an art therapist. So she would use art with her therapy, which was nuts to me growing up. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I would just see like tinfoil structures all over the floor, like from her groups. But she went to she used to work in a psychiatric hospital, and she went to, when she tells this, I think she told this story on the podcast, but she went to run a group, and then she looked down and she's like, something's off. And she had 2 different brown shoes on, and one of them had a wedge.
Oh my God.
I'm like, how did you not realize it had a wedge?
Yeah, because she would have been tilted.
Right. And she was running a group for psychotic patients. It was just like when she tells the story, it's so funny.
You know, when I was in college, I was a psych major and I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And then I had to do what is it called? Like a semester at a freaking psych ward. And so I was so excited, and we were allowed to partner up with another student. And they're like, if you go to the really crazy people, you can go with someone. And I was with my friend
amazing.
Heidi, and I was like, Heidi, let's ask for the worst psychotic person ever. And so she's like, okay, so they interview you at the psych ward, and the psychiatrist he was fucking nuts.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, that's when I go, I can't be this.
Yeah, a lot of psychiatrists are out of their minds. They really are. You know, it worries me with psychiatrists and therapists because they're fucking crazy, a lot of them. And excuse me, some are crazier than others, of course. But my mom always said to me when I was growing up, you have to go therapist shopping. Meaning, like, you don't have to go to the first therapist you see. A lot of people do that, and they're not good.
And also, you don't know, and it's like dating. You don't know what's good until you've been through a few. Like, one lady was like, I want you to really punch that pillow. And I was like, this isn't doing
Carmen,
anything
I grew up
me.
doing that with my mother. You didn't know that? I would use wiffle bats and hit pillows in front of her. She'd tell me what you're angry at.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was angry at them.
Can I punch you, Mom?
Can I hit you?
Wouldn't that be funny, though, if you were inside your mom's belly when she was giving people advice, and in your head, you're like, I keep thinking about this, you know, and it was something really random that had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, why does she keep telling me about Uncle Bob? I don't have an Uncle Bob. He didn't touch me. Who is this Uncle Bob?
It's always the uncle.
It is.
Which is so, I mean, it's really everyone. So it's funny. Everyone just focuses on the uncle. It could be the cousin, the neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know.
God, that's more disturbing to talk about than the asshole.
Oh, I'd rather talk about assholes in a second than child molesters.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Now it's gotten dark.
Well, let's go back to assholes.
Oh.
Have you ever had your asshole waxed? It is so...
No, have you?
It's so uncomfortable to, they're like, spread your butt cheeks. And I'm like, this is normal?
So you've spread your hole for people to wax
For a little Asian woman to wax my, Because they'll be like, the first time was scary because I was like, well, you're doing the front, right? And then I guess I had asked for everything gone, which I don't like. I just like to leave a little strip.
Yeah.
But everything gone includes the butthole. So they're like, turn around. And they say it like it's no big deal. They're like, turn around. And then she's like, hold your butt cheeks apart. And I'm like,
could you imagine?
Did I shower? And they turn on the fan. I'm like, I guess they turn on the fan in case anyone farts. These poor guys here.
They turn on the fan.
Yeah.
Every time that you spread your asshole, they turn the fan on.
No, it should be on already. I think they turn it on from the beginning because some people. I always bathe. Like,
could you imagine if she looks in your asshole? Why is there carrot in asshole?
I see half a pound of Brussels sprout.
Oh, that's where they went. What?
Why you have my tweezer?
Are those headphones in your butthole? Oh, baby coming out. Ah! We meant to wax butthole, but we waxed a big apple.
That's a big apple.
Why there Macintosh in asshole?
That made me think of Nathan.
We know a comic.
Why is Nathan Macintosh in your asshole?
We wax his red hair from head.
What do you think is the craziest? I wonder I'd love to know what the craziest thing someone put up in their ass. I think I've seen that before online.
Oh, God. I remember
People have
hearing things in high school. Did your high school, like if there was a rumor, did everyone find out?
Yes.
I remember we found out that someone put, I remember this. I don't know if it's true, but some girl put tuna fish in her pussy so her boyfriend could lick it out. And then she left some in there and got maggots. So it was a big rumor in our high school. Oh, my God.
I think that's real.
I know. But that was one of those, like, did you hear?
God, that's one of the worst things I've ever heard. She put tuna in her. Well, I heard that a girl put a lot of herring in her vagina.
This is true? Like, you heard this? Oh.
This is one of the worst rumors that she got maggots from putting tuna.
I know.
And why would someone put tuna in their vagina?
I don't know. There's so many questions, right?
Right. I mean, if anything, you would egg salad, like something, but tuna's pretty potent.
I know.
If you had to choose a salad.
If you had to choose between live crickets and tuna fish. At least live crickets.
Oh my God,
don't
that's
smell.
a hard decision.
I know.
I could not put live crickets in my vagina. I would
alive.
I would have to be put to sleep. I can't.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
I know
do
a
it.
great anesthesiologist.
Live crickets or tuna? Oh God, tuna.
I guess.
I mean, it would take years to get the smell. Like, can you imagine?
I mean, I would just literally wash myself 5 times a day.
Me too.
And really, like, stick my fingers up there and make sure all the tuna came out.
This is the most disgusting thing I've ever put up. Stick my fingers up there to make sure all the tuna comes
And then make a sandwich.
Me too. I love tuna.
I love tuna fish sandwiches.
Me too. I make really good tuna.
Yeah, how do you make yours?
I'll make it and then you can put it in your pussy. I'm serious. I make really good tuna with Hellman's mayo. I have to use Hellman's.
Do you put like a little bit of onions in there?
Onion,
So
celery, lemon juice, a little bit of lemon juice.
Ooh.
Gets rid of the fishy smell.
And then
I would put 7 lemons in yours.
if I had tuna fish in my pussy, I'd probably put a whole bottle of lemon juice in there. What kind of bread would you use for, not for a sandwich, but for the tuna in your
A
pussy?
Kaiser.
I'd use a bagel so I could fuck that hole again.
Oh my God. You know why this is also so funny? Because you're not like dirty on stage.
I know.
So
this
it's
feels really
so,
good.
Fuck that whole This feels really good.
Nice to get this out of my system.
Yeah. So you would put a bagel in there with the tuna?
Yeah.
What
do you
about
think?
tomato? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
A bagel with anything.
Yeah.
Tomato, lettuce.
It's getting really crowded in there now. I think I'm going to keep the produce in my butt.
An armoire.
Let's separate the two.
I think I'm going to keep the produce in my butt.
Another great title for a book.
Oh, yeah. You could put the lettuce, tomato, raw onion, anything in your asshole. And then the tuna, the bagel, and even some chips. Salt and vinegar chips.
And
Do you
then
like
when
that?
you sit, it just goes.
Comes panini.
That's how they made panini.
They put them in people's vaginas and assholes, and you just sit.
It's ready.
It's hot. It's hot. Do you ever notice a lot of steam coming from?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Have you ever forgotten a tampon up there?
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, I honestly, the last time I put a tampon and then I put another one in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was a little scary. And then I took it out and I was like, is something else in there?
Oh my God. Was it going up vertically or next to it?
It was.
Does it go up higher?
I
Like
think
into your kidneys?
It was in my larynx.
I remember that day you sounded differently.
Hi.
I've just congestion.
I might have another tampon inside of me.
That's scary. And then you
Have
pulled
you ever
out-
done that?
I was so paranoid once in college that I went to the doctor and I'm like, I think I lost a tampon up there. And she really went in there. And she's like, there's nothing in there. And I'm like, I swear. Because, you know, when you go party and you're drunk, you don't remember how many tampons
Are you
popped
kidding?
out.
I don't even remember what dicks were inside of me. How am I going to remember?
At least those are attached to a human, though.
Not always. I can't find my scale. This is the best podcast episode ever.
What are you going to call it?
Oh my God.
Do you have
Mushrooms in
titles?
my ass. I'm not kidding. Fungi in my ass. I'm not kidding. I'm
That's
calling
a
it mushrooms in
great-
my ass.
That's a great title. I wish that was a song.
God, Carmen, I'm doing this with you. I'm like, we got to do this all the time.
my
I don't
God.
laugh like this during the pod. I mean, I'm being videotaped. People know. I have not. This is the hardest
Yeah.
I've ever laughed in this
Yeah.
podcast. Oh,
I wish that was
So-
a song. Mushrooms in my ass. I can't do the baby one as well as you.
okay.
Mushrooms in my ass.
Us.
Mushrooms in my ass.
I'll sing it the way I'm going to sing it as a rap song.
Okay.
I got mushrooms in my ass.
Oh, yeah.
I got mushrooms in my ass.
Carrots, too.
I got what?
Carrots too. Keep going. I'm just
I
background.
thought you said Harris too.
Oh,
Come on.
Harris.
I got
Okay.
mushrooms in my ass.
Keep going.
Mushroom. That's the whitest thing I've ever heard. Keep going.
I wasn't ready. Okay.
Continue. Okay. I got mushrooms in my ass.
Where's your tuna?
What? Where's your tuna? I got mushrooms in my ass. I got my ass.
Water chestnuts. Is there one called a watercress as well?
Watercress
Is that the
is
one
a
you like?
lettuce.
Oh, right,
Isn't
right.
it?
Water chestnut.
We sound so stupid. Isn't the one called butter lettuce? It's why you like better, spring mix or romaine?
Do you like baby spinach? I like it when it's still a baby. I don't like old middle-aged spinach. I like the baby spinach.
I like a toddler spinach.
Yo, can I get some baby spinach?
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now do the same voice and ask for tuna in your pussy. Is this really going on air? Oh my God, I love it.
Of course.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yo, can I get some tuna in my pussy?
All right, we're going to do a sketch. Ready?
Okay.
Do it again.
Yo, can I get some tuna in my pussy?
Excuse me?
Can I? Yo, can I get some tuna in my pussy?
Albacore?
I don't care what kind. In my pussy.
It's. Do you have a?
I need the tuna in my pussy.
Do you have a can opener?
I don't get up. I open it with my asshole. Put the tuna can in my asshole. Open it.
Do you have any lemon juice?
I'm gonna
You got mail? You look shocked.
I'm just picturing you opening a can of tuna with your butthole.
Can you imagine going into to pretend like you're a receptionist at the
Okay.
doctor's office?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Say hello.
Are we on the phone or are you in the office?
No, I walked in.
Okay. Hi, how can I help you?
Yo, I got some kind of...
Okay, we have to get through this. It's so good.
Okay,
Ready?
okay. Yeah.
Hi, can I help you?
Yo, I got some problem in my asshole.
You can lower your voice if you.
No, I got a big problem in my asshole.
Okay, what kind of problem do you have?
Itchy. I got a bad itch in my asshole.
Do you have baby wipes?
I'm gonna be
I got cream.
It sounds like you might have a mushroom.
I got a mushroom in my asshole.
Yeah. When was the last time you shat?
What last time I what? Sat?
When was the last time you had a bowel movement?
Right in the waiting room.
Your face right now. I can't. Oh my God.
I just blew up your bathroom.
Hello. Is this Dr. Jones's office?
Call me with. Yeah, I'll be the receptionist now.
Are
Okay.
you? Is this Dr. Jones's office?
Yes, it is. Who it is?
I think there's a maggot in my pussy.
What? You got a maggot in your pussy?
Hold on. Dr. Eisenstein. Someone on line one have maggot in the pussy.
Should I bring it in a jar?
Bring it in a jar. You need to go to the fire department.
What are they gonna hose my pussy
They
down?
need to hold that shit down. You need to slide that pussy on that pole for 2 days.
You still there?
Yeah. I think I just found another one.
Why don't you eat it?
Did you ever know anyone who did that thing where they would take those mints and then like suck someone?
What?
Isn't there a mint that you and then you go down on someone so that they feel the mints on their?
Oh, well, I haven't had a mint and done that, but I have used those lubricants and oh my God, the person loved it, but I lost the gums on the upper. It numbs your mouth.
Oh, so your
Did you
mouth
ever do
was
that?
numbed?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
No, but that sounds horrible.
Yeah,
like,
it
you mean
is.
like when you have Novocaine in the dentist office like that and your face feels like it's falling off?
It's not that extreme, but it feels like you drank pepper.
Okay. What is that like?
What's the craziest thing you've used sexually before we wrap this up?
Oh my God. I feel like everything I've said was
No, it's okay.
crazy.
It's really okay. I've said so
No, I don't
much-
mean it in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that I can talk about publicly.
Yes, you don't have to say anything that, you know.
I'll tell you about one afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it like butt beads?
No, it's different. It's something that you probably won't. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you afterwards.
Like a
'cause
casserole?
A fork. I've stuck a fork just to see if I was ready for sex, just to poke me. You know how you poke a piece
Did
of
you
meat?
put that temperature thing?
Baby, I'm ready.
The temperature thing popped like when you put it in a roast.
I'm ready.
Well, I would doubt you would use vegetables because you already have so many. Like some people use cucumbers or zucchini. You already have so many vegetables inside of
They
you.
use it for what?
Sex, people have used
Like
stuff
as just to jam it up there?
jam.
See, I would feel... I would be too afraid that something would either get... Because I think the worst part is not doing it, but getting stuck. And then you have to go to the doctor. And you're like,
Forget. If I'm telling you, I wouldn't do. I would.
Yeah.
Someone would have to come with like supplies to my house.
Right, and then you'd have to have them sign like a NDA.
Yeah, I would never go to the hospital and be like, I have a butternut squash inside of me.
And they're like, where did you get this one? It's really pretty.
My mother's garden.
My mother told me to do this.
My mother put it inside of me so it would grow more.
Oh my God.
Oh, Carmen, this
That
has
felt
been
good.
so enlightening. I mean, I needed to laugh like that. My God.
Oh, good.
Can you tell people where they can reach you and what's going on? Because people need to see you. I mean, Carmen, first of all, Carmen is, you know, a lot of you know I made a documentary for FX. Carmen's all over the documentary. You're just brilliant and so funny. And you're in the begin, like there's a part when you're speaking in the documentary and I'm just like, I told you I got emotional because it was such a beautiful thing you said about stand-up that
I
you
remember you told me that.
yeah,
part.
that you just love it so much and
Yeah.
feel like it's what you should always
It
should have
feels
always
good,
been
right?
doing.
Like
yeah.
even if you got like 12 million blockbuster movies, there's the thought of walking down the street and just getting on a live stage.
Yeah.
Feels like it just comes home.
It
just
does.
feels the best.
Because you're on the road a lot like I am. So where
Yeah.
can people find your dates?
CarmenLynch.com has a bunch, and at Carmen Comedian is all my social media. So I put a lot of dates on Instagram and Twitter at Carmen Comedian.
Yeah, and so many videos too.
We have to make more.
Oh my God. Carmen and I have made some. I think there's one I still have that I can put up soon on my Instagram, which is hysterical.
Is it the therapy
Yeah.
one?
Uh-huh.
We have so many therapy ones.
I know. They're so
Do you remember the ones that we made on the Impractical Jokers cruise?
yeah.
And they
I
were
feel
like dark.
You know, I don't know if I have all of those. One of them might be on a couple might be on your phone. I'm not sure. Or Mateo's maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of us.
Oh God. They were so, we had so much fun. And you make me laugh so hard. I'm not kidding. Like
Oh, well, I
everyone
feel the
will
same
say
about
that after
you.
they listen to this. I know it because it takes a lot to make me laugh that hard.
Wouldn't
so
it be great if, like, after a show one day, someone came up to me and said, I know all about your butthole from
they are.
listening to Jessica.
You're going to be surprised. I want you, if you go to Carmen's shows, which you will, I want you to discuss the vegetables in her anus, but don't do it while she's on stage.
Yeah.
That would suck if you're on stage. Tell us about the mushrooms in your asshole.
Because that really does sound like I shove them up there.
Now we we know that they just grow there. You don't shove them
Yeah.
up.
I don't even need to water them. They just like naturally grow. I have a garden in my butthole. That's a good title too.
They just grow there.
John, will you water my butthole?
Do you have to put the pack of powder that you get when you get flowers?
What if when it rains, I go out on the street, pull my pants down? So people are like, what is she doing? She's got a garden in there. She's got some carrots that need growing. Okay, just
Why is Carmen on her knees spreading her asshole to the rain? Is she praying? No, she has to grow some.
what if I got
some-
waxed and
some
she was
tulips.
like, she was like, spread your butt cheeks, and then like a flower popped out.
Oh, bouquet.
And she was like, it's my birthday.
Oh, so sweet of you. I love fresh.
I can't. I could do 20 podcasts about this subject.
About buttholes.
Of course.
Or just mine.
Oh, God, Carmen.
That was so fun.
So that's where they can find you is online.
Well, you know where you can find me, but also
Botanical garden.
the closest farmer's market to your neighborhood. Oh my God.
Oh God, I know. I can't take it.
Like nothing sounds the same after
No,
talking about
now
that.
there's nothing you can talk. I mean, we're trying to talk about other things. What else? Do you make the stuff that like the packet that you put it for a matzo ball soup mix? Like the turnip, there's a packet you can get in the vegetable.
Like in ramen and stuff. They have that too, where you like can put little spices.
Yeah,
and
no.
stuff.
If you go to like wherever, there's a packet of like turnips, parsnip. I might plant all that in your ass so that during the Jewish holidays I'll have a nice mix.
And then just how often should I water it? Or I don't even need to.
It's dry stuff.
Oh.
So would a chicken fit up there?
What if you needed spices for Thanksgiving and I just like shook my ass in front of all of your guests' plates and then they would have spices on their food?
Like you just hopped around the table.
Like a large salt and pepper shaker.
We would just twist you.
Or I could just like cough and then it would just fly out.
Yeah. You know, when we go around, there's always someone who goes around during the Jewish holidays and like, do you want soup? Do you want one matzo ball? Do you want two? Like you could just go around and squat on each person's bowl.
Yeah.
And give them what they want in their soup.
And you never know, a water chestnut might pop out too. For free, I don't charge.
Or a Nazi. All right. I love you. You're brilliant.
Love you
so many
too.
people are going to follow you after this. I know it. You're so fucking funny, Carmen. I'm not kidding.
You know I love you too.
Oh, God.
And it sounds like a love fest, but
No, it's not.
you know I love
I mean,
you.
it is a love fest, but
Yeah.
God, I needed to laugh. I mean, I needed to laugh, so that
Good,
was
I'm
helpful.
glad.
God. Well, I love you. Thank you so much.